Are the Raiders a good team, or is New England just horrible?
But yeah, let me start this off. Let me just go hot and we'll kind of retouch on what we just touched on. But I'm kidding when I say this. But look, again, as a Saints fan, no, they're fraudulent. The Raiders because the Patriots made the Saints look like the Eagles last year. Sure enough, no, it has everything to do with the fact that the Patriots at the moment are a completely incompetent mess. How do I picture myself saying this while Belichick is still the coach? I don't know. It doesn't even make any sense. That's what's funny. But yeah, sure enough. And again, if you're a Raiders fan, let me tell you too, from my point of view, also, hey, enjoy these weeks. Enjoy the weeks where you know your team isn't even that special, but they got to look like a much better team than they were. You got to enjoy those weeks. But at the end of the day, yeah, the reality situation is, from my point of view, this was one of the hardest games to watch this week because you just know you're watching two teams that are in a very bleak identity crisis. And that's really just all I have to say without letting you introduce your points also. It's just two teams in an identity crisis, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my thing is like I look at it like this, like the Raiders aren't going to keep winning. I'm kind of glad they keep winning. Add another W there, get away from those picks, get away from the early picks. But it's also like, in my opinion, like New England's over. Like there's no coming back like from this. Like they have to completely blow it up. This doesn't even feel like a Bill Belichick team. The continuity is there. You can sense it. You can feel it in the defense when they play. Like they are not bought into what is going on right now. And I've never, ever, ever seen this with the New England team. Even when they had Cam, even early years of Mac Jones, like even if they weren't as good with Brady, like they had that feel to them. New England just does not have that feel to them this year. And it really leads the question like, is it really a possibility that they could be moving on from Bill Belichick? The more likely situation, hopefully they bring in a GM and Bill is the coach. But like, there's so much that has to happen here for them to become like a decent team. Like, it's almost just worth it to blow it up. You might as well
Well,
blow it up.
well, so no, I'm glad you brought this up because I've been observing, and I'm sure everybody has, and it's like I almost don't know how to feel about this because let me preface it. Do I think that this is true? No. I'm just saying again from what I'm observing. When you're watching Belichick on the sideline when the team completely sells, like I'm talking about, you know that exact moment I'm talking about, where the Patriots officially just blew the game, or the game's way too far out of reach. Everybody in the stadium is realizing it. He's realizing it, and the camera pans to him, right? And I just feel like it just doesn't remind me of like vintage Bill, like
No.
malice in his face, like oh my god, we just blew this game. And also, let me clear. On the other hand, I know there's plenty of times too where you almost can't even see it because he's so good at keeping it on the inside until he's going to let his guys have it. But it's like I don't get that vibe. Like it's like how I used to. I just think it's almost like it looks like he cares in his eye a little less than he used to. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Which is what makes it even more like heartbreaking if you're a Patriots fan. Is it's like is anybody even as bought in as things we were used to be?
I don't
Like
think so. I think he knows it's fucked. I think ownership knows it's fucked. And on the other side of things with the Raiders, it's just kind of like you're almost doing yourself a disservice by winning because this is not like a winning football team. Like, I, here's my thing though: their defense, for how bare bones it is, has been playing so much better. Like Max Crosby might be one of the top five, top 10 defensive players in the NFL. Like he is ridiculous. Josh Jacobs looks back to form. Michael Mayer's starting to perform. Very let down with Tyree Wilson. I just not really looking that well, especially with Max Crosby on the other end of the line. You would think he'd be able to generate a little bit more pressure, but also like something I want to point out with how dominant Devonte Adams is at this age, and we know how good he is. They don't target him like a superstar. Like it really looks like Jacoby Myers has really taken over. Not taken over. Like it's just like he really looks like the main. Like whether they're doubling Devonte, but like Jacoby Myers looks great. And my thing is like, why would Devonte want to stay here if there's no long term answer at QB?
no, exactly. That's why. And again, whenever I bring this up, I say this every time, but it's true. It's ridiculous. It's like this far fetched notion that just because that it was Devontae's team when he was young, that he might, and that he wanted to come here. I get it. I get that. But that, dude, these guys are adults, man, and they also have priorities and things they want to do in their life. look, if things aren't going his way down in Vegas, he's not just going to stay there or want to stay there because that's what he had wanted at one point. Things change, man.
Well, he
Like,
went there
I
to play
think,
with Derek Carr, and then they shipped him off.
right, like from his point of view now, I don't think it's the same ideology he had when he first came in about how the situation was. And if you again, if all I'm trying to say really is if you don't think that it's a potential possibility in his head that he wants to get out of town ASAP, I just don't think you're looking at the situation objectively.
No, no. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty much all I had to say on this game. It was really ugly. Jimmy G is hurt again. Like, that's the thing, too, is like, he can't even get in rhythm with his starting quarterback because he's hurt. He's got a concussion. He had a back injury. Like, I don't know, man.